United States flag, military flags, the POW flag, tribal flags, or the official flag of the government entity itself. This is kind of following in line with President Trump's one flag policy at the U.S. embassies. And what we want is we don't want government to be promoting division or political ideology or any social movements. We just want them to stick to government flags. And with that, I'd ask for your green light.
For the motion, is there further debate on the motion? Gentleman 28.
To debate against the motion, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman has the floor.
This bill would ban the display of university flags on city property. Idaho State University, Boise State, University of Idaho, other institutions across the state that have flags. We're pretty proud of Idaho State University in our town, and we fly their flag fairly often across our city property. The city of Pocatello also is a sister city to, and pardon my pronunciation here, Quanamagul in Burkina Faso, Africa. We do a humanitarian exchange with them. Members of the community have been there and built hospitals and done other things in that community. They've not been there for a few years because of the insurrection that's been going on in that portion of Africa. But we also are a sister city in a cultural exchange with Iwazi, I hate pronouncing this, Iwazimawa, Hokkaido, Japan. We have members of the community that raise funds privately and go there every other year. They take a tour of kids and adults. They tour that community in Japan. And on the off years, that community in Japan comes to Pocatello. And they look at Idaho and they look at America. And we have a display in our lobby at our city hall of kimonos and flags of these two cities. And this bill would stop that. I ask the sponsor to consider a friendly amendment to allow these kind of non-political display of flags in our communities. Thank you.
Further debate on the motion. Good lady from 34.
Mr. Speaker, would the good lady yield to a question?
The lady from 2 yield.
The lady yields.
Lady yields.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good lady. I received an email, I believe, that was related to an earlier version of this bill. And the question was raised that in North Idaho, they have an international visitor center that's intended to welcome those who are moving back and forth across the border with Canada, and they display the Canadian flag. Was there ever any discussion about allowing a provision similar to the good gentleman's bill from 14 for nation countries that we have good relations with to have their flags displayed as part of our displays?
Lady from 2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good lady. There was discussion on that. And what we're trying to do is get back to the basics. The American flag, the government flag of the entity. If we want to come back with trailer bills to allow other countries or that, those can be debates on their own. As you'll find, they can be divisive. Someone that likes Canada someone that might not like Canada for other reasons, or someone might flee a country that other people like and some people don't. So we want to get away from the divisiveness. We want to get away from government promoting different agendas. And so this is a good start. You're welcome to bring up other legislation to allow sister cities as we go down, but we have to get back to the basics and just the American flag, and that's what this bill aims to do.
Lady 34.
Mr. Speaker, to gently debate the bill.
She has the floor.
I respect the good lady's intention with providing an emphasis and highlighting the need to have the American flag displayed with pride. I agree with that sentiment. Where I'm afraid this legislation falls short is that in the process, it undercuts our American values of wanting to promote democracy by demoting other flags from other entities or other friendly nations or organizations which aspire to be America. They want to have the values that we have. Now, if there are flags that represent values or organizations that you have disagreements with, that is a reasonable point to consider. But the broadness with which this bill paints, it leaves a lot of friendly organizations and entities on the sidelines, and I believe undercuts what the American flag stands for. I'd encourage your red light.
Further debate on the motion? Gentleman 14.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to debate in favor of the bill.
Gentleman has the floor.
This particular picture really resonated with everyone received 2 years ago.
Speaker, I
I'm
object.
supposed to show that? I can't show that.
Good gentleman, you can't use the prop.
Okay. Well, everyone received that picture, and 2 years ago, I'm going down the street on 3rd of July in the evening, and that's exactly what I saw. So the 3rd of July, they were in position, and the 4th of July, they were still there. So this has a real purpose. That was left there for a political expression, clearly so. They didn't put American flags up there, left those flags up there. I had an issue with that. So I think this bill is the right thing to do. It sets the tone. We need to embrace the American flag. I encourage a green light.
Thank you, gentlemen. Further debate on the motion? Good lady from 19.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, to debate against the bill.
Lady has the floor.
I just want to mention briefly about these two photos. So the first photo, I want to remind this body that the elected bodies of cities are just as legitimate as this elected body, and we should respect the will of voters in each of our districts, municipalities, etc. And to the second photo that you received, these flags in the picture are put up by a nonprofit with the help of the homeowners on that street and have nothing to do with an elected body. And I would again ask that you respect Idahoans and respect the will of voters. Thank you.
Further debate on the motion? Gentleman 2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, to debate in favor.
Gentleman has the floor.
You know, we all have things that we enjoy and we like good body. When we come in this room, some of us like one football team, some of us like another, some of us wear very odd shoes to display that, and we have colors for things. But you notice what's hanging in the front of this room before us every single morning is the U.S. flag and our state flag. How far do we have to go down the road of accommodation before this room is full of representation of things that, well, this individual likes or that individual likes? I think this bill brings a clarity to things of what we need to get back to on something, and I think the good representative from 11 or 10, I can't remember, Representative Hill said before, and I heard in committee a while back on a different bill, these are two flags that we can all agree on. And I think that's the primary goal here, is getting to the things that we can agree on and not finding a way to slip into things that some of us like and some of us don't. Because when we go down that road, we're going to wind, I don't want 100 flags in here. I enjoy the atmosphere we have with the two flags that hang in this room. And I think it's fair to say that we can do that in the rest of these areas. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, gentlemen. Further debate on the motion? Good lady from 6.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, to debate.
Good lady has the floor.
So, again, I agree that we should have the American flag, but what seems like we're getting to is that there's just one flag that is objectionable, and that is that rainbow flag that we're seeing. And so my concern is that we are, again, overreaching our ability here to tell our local cities or our counties what they can and can't do in their own city. And that's where I say that we have a problem. Our platform clearly defines that we believe in local control. And so for that reason, I just think we are getting way out again in front of our skis, and I'm a no vote.
Further debate on the motion? Gentleman 26.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the good lady to yield to a question?
Lady to yield.
Lady yields.
Lady yields.
Thank you. So I used to teach at the College of Southern Idaho, and in the student union building, they would have flags from all of the nations in that student union, because we would have students from all over the world that would come to the college. And so some of them were my students, and they were ball players or just here to learn. So how would the College of Southern Idaho, would they have to remove all those flags from inside? Because there's no flags, as the good lady from 6 talked about, the rainbow flag. There's no flags in there. They're just from other nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for that question. If you look at the bill on line 12, it's one page, actually on line 10, on line 11, we exempt school, college, or university. This bill only deals with the other political subdivisions, which I have a list of those that I will share. The state of Idaho, of course, that would include the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. The counties, the county buildings, municipalities, which would be the cities and the towns, special districts, which would be highway districts or recreational and parks districts, and political subdivisions, that part would be urban renewal districts and the health districts. And the last one would be government instrumentalities, which would be port authorities, regional transit authorities, or housing authorities. I specifically left out the colleges, the universities, and the schools.
Gentleman from 26, no more questions?
So Speaker, good lady from 2.
The good lady yield to additional question from the gentleman 26.
Lady yields.
Lady yields.
Thank you. So would CSI be able to maintain those international flags in that student union building?
Lady from 2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good gentleman. Yes, this bill does not affect the colleges at all. They can, according to this bill, they can do whatever they want.
Thanks. Further debate on the motion. Gentleman 28.
The good lady yield for a question.
Lady yield.
Lady yields.
Lady yields.
I'm sorry, I think I understand this, but I would need clarification. In my rural communities, our small towns were settled by different immigrant nations. And every year they have a celebration for example, Irish or Welsh. And they go to the city park and they put up flags and they serve that type of food and have a celebration. Would those flags then be not able to be displayed at those celebrations?
Good lady from 2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good gentleman. So this bill addresses the government entity. It does not prevent the government employees or people doing things like that. So that is not, we're talking about the government entities doing this on their official flag poles. So I do not think that would be a problem.
Follow up, Ms. Speaker.
Good lady yield.
So you could
The good lady from 2 yield to additional question.
The lady would yield.
Lady yields. Good gentleman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, good lady from 2. So they could put up those flags in the city parks?
Good lady from 2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good gentleman. I'm not a lawyer, so maybe someone would want to legally challenge this, but if it's an individual person, this is not talking about individual persons. Now, if the state or if the city of Ada County decided to start putting up flags as the official entity, that would not be allowed.
Gentleman 28.
Just for a comment.
Gentleman has the floor to debate the bill.
I like where this bill is going. I think we need to enhance pride in America and pride in our states. I am concerned about the local control issue. I know Mlad does a great celebration for who founded that city, and so does Clifton. I'm just concerned about the local control, and I haven't decided how I'm voting, but thank you.
Further debate on the motion. Lady from 19.
Just making sure this will be my second time to debate for a second time.
Does anybody wish to debate the bill for the first time? Gentleman 4.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, to debate the bill.
Gentleman has the floor.
Thank you, sir. I think it's really a very simple question. I think we're overthinking this, as we often tend to do. This isn't about local control. This is about government entities making political statements. The government should be free from politics. And that's all this is about. The government should not put out, any government entity should not display a flag which takes a political issue. And that may be the rainbow flag or it may be a MAGA flag. Just shouldn't do it. It should be the American flag, should be the flag of the institution, the city of Boise, the city of Coeur d'Alene, whatever flag it may be. Governmental flag, non-political issue. Simple as that. I urge a yes vote on this bill.
Further debate on the motion for the first time? Hearing none, will the good lady from 19 care to debate the bill for the second time?
I would. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I just, listening to all of this, I think it's very clear that this bill discriminates against one city and one district. And I think we all need to really think about that. Thank you.
Further debate on the motion for the second time? Hearing none, will the good lady from 2 care to close the debate?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill does not discriminate against one city. This is about uniting our citizens of our state, statewide.
BS, Scott.
The bill does not restrict individuals or private organizations
It's
from displaying
addressed to
flags
the
that they want to do.
LGBTQ community.
No, we're not going to allow different country flags for the very reason
white supremacists
that
in
someone may
northern
put up an
Idaho
Israel flag and someone may want a Palestinian
just
flag.
keep you in office.
Someone may want a Mexican flag and someone may find that offensive. We need to get back to unity in this country and unity
You like
in
the
this
Confederate
state.
flag? How
This
about
is
that
about
one?
uniting.
You have any problem
Government
with that
should
one?
not be putting out ideologies. They should not. It should be a place where we
There's
can
a
go
picture
and
on,
not be
the
lobbying
internet. You're
for
holding up the
a
Confederate
political
flag.
agenda.
And
And
you're from
that is
Akron,
what this
Ohio,
bill will do.
birthplace of the KKK.
Nonprofits are, that was brought up, nonprofits are allowed to fly whatever flags they want to fly, but government should not be promoting one nonprofit over another. If
Yeah,
we
it's
start
like Trump.
putting up one
It's a
flag
nonprofit,
for
right?
one
Plenty of Trump
nonprofit,
flags
what
out
about all
there.
the other nonprofits? This is getting us back to the basics, and
You're interfering with people.
I had one other thing
That's
I wanted
overreach.
to share that I don't remember. So
Oh, you don't remember.
I'm asking for you for this a green light on this. Oh, I did have some lawyers call me and they said
This
yes,
is from
absolutely. To the question about the park, yes, you can fly for an event in the park. That's not a problem. This is about promoting America. This is about promoting Idaho, promoting our military,
Baloney.
our POW flags, stuff that we can all agree on. And
Well,
for
there's
that,
a lot
I'd
of
ask
people
for your
don't agree
green
with
light.
that. There's less than 1%
Debate's
of the
closed. Question is
population
House Bill 96
ever
passed
been
the
in
House.
the military.
Clerk will unlock the machine. Members will cast their votes.
Oh, Lord. Look at that. White
Has every
supremacy
member
wins,
voted?
huh?
President Raymond,
Oh.
does any member wish to change their vote? Clerk will lock the machine and record the roll. 53 ayes, 17 nays, the majority having voted in favor of House Bill 96. House Bill 96 passed the House. Is there correction to title?
No correction?